Hello everyone, welcome to my vlog. I'm Akram Chaudhary and today I'm going to compare some product selling video clips based on different parameters such as the role of language, the role of graphics and technicality in the language and the use of sound and the use of images and the very first aspect is the role of language. As we all know that language plays a very vital role in selling the product. So it should be very basic and it should deliver more in less sentence. Let us see the role of language in the video which we have seen one by one. The language used by the Samsung is very basic and it is understandable by each and everyone. Anyone who can read the English can easily understand the features of the product and can easily understand what they want to sell. While the language used by the Apple is moderately leveled and it requires some knowledge of good English to understand what they want to say. While the language used by the Google OnePlus is also of good level and it requires a lot of knowledge to understand what they want to say and what they want to sell. It is not more basic and it is not more customer oriented language, as there are persons who cannot understand the English very well, so it should be of very basic level. That is the use of graphics. As we all know that graphics plays a very significant role in selling the product, as companies uses graphics to show the specifications of their product and to illustrate the use of their product to the customers, and eventually it helps customers to understand how this smartphone will work and what are the features in this smartphone. The graphics used by the Samsung are quite good and they cover each and every feature of their product, but there are some unnecessary graphics which were not needed at all. The graphics used by the Apple are quite good and they are much more product oriented. They have used all the graphics which are required, and all the graphics have just shown the specifications of the iPhone, mainly the specifications of the camera and their modes. And the graphics used by the OnePlus 9 are not much product oriented. If we see only the graphics, then we won't be able to understand what they want, what are the features of the product. Point is technicality in the language, means how technical is the language. As we have already discussed the role of language in selling the product, so the language used by the Samsung is not much technical. It is simple and easy to understand, and also they have explain their features of their product using the language which is very simple and easy to understand, and there is a little bit of technicality in the language. While the language used by the Apple is moderately technical language, one should require a knowledge of technical things to understand the specifications of the Apple iPhone, and there should be other knowledge such as modes of the cameras to understand the specification of the camera of iPhone. While the language of Google OnePlus is almost purely technical, because they have used a technical language to explain the features and they have used similar kind of graphics which are related to the technical images which explains the use of their OnePlus 9 phone. The next point is use of sound. Can you imagine if anyone is not using sound in their video, then definitely it will become bored. So Samsung has not used any narrator to narrate the specification of their product, but they have used a background song or background sound which they played during recording the video, and they have just shown the product using graphics, and they have just written the specifications of the product over there. They have not used any narrator, but the sound they used was pleasing, and it was like sonorous sound, so one can like stay and see the video. While the sound used by the Apple is quite good, and they have just used the narrator to explain the features of their product, so it was a quite good idea. While the sound used by the Google OnePlus was both background sound and as well as the narrator. They have used the narrator and background sound in a twinning way. It was like good overall. The last point is the use of images and their positions. While we illustrate something using the images, the type of images and their positions is very important, that they should be accurate. The images used by the Samsung are quite good. They have used the images of the phone, they have used the images of peoples, and all the images were centered, and they were attracting the people. They were like attracting the focus of the viewers, so it was good. The images were very nice, and some of the images were unnecessary, which were out of the context, which do not illustrate anything, but the majority of the images are good. The images used by the Apple are quite specific to the product, and they have just used the images to illustrate the quality of their iPhone. They have used all the images which are required and which should be used to illustrate the quality of the product. While the images used by the Google OnePlus are worst among three videos, because they have just used they have used by the Google OnePlus are not quite good, because they have like used the images which do not explain anything about anything related to the product. And sometimes the lady is sitting in the car and playing just a video game, so it was not the good idea, and it was not the proper positioning of the images. But sometimes they have used good images to illustrate, such as to explain the features of the video of their product. So at the end, I would like to conclude that each and every aspect is very important, and each company should focus, and everything should be kept in mind while selling the product. Thank you.